this is the Spotlight review on the brand new Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy Wave 2 Deluxe Class Ironhide. So, let's not waste any time, let's put the figure aside for a moment so we can take a good look at the packaging. Up close in your face! And kicking things off in high gear, we've got that backdrop with the weird icon here, which I have no idea what this is supposed to represent. And we got Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy, War for Cybertron Siege 21 Ironhide. Ages 8 and plus, Hasbro's logo, Transformers, going up to the Cartomy logo and the Misaligned Generations logo. On this side of the packaging with the very nice artwork of Ironhide, we have some specific details like Deluxe Class, yeah, in case you didn't know. But if you do shine it up in the light, or if you've got a black light, you can actually see that there's some hidden messages all around this package. And on this side of the packaging, we've got that very nice promotional artwork that's been used throughout the Siege line. And down below that, we've got the authentic Transformer stamp, which, to remind you, if it doesn't say authentic, it's a knockoff. On the back of the packaging here, we've got the CGI prototype of the figure himself, with 14 steps of transformation from vehicle form to robot mode and vice versa. Here's a brief look at the Battlemaster figure, which I do not own, so I cannot show this off. Speaking of Battlemasters, here's a look at the nice gimmick. Warning, choking hazard, sad onion face. And if you do flip it on the bottom, there's also another authentic Transformer stamp, so you know what that means. And this packaging's a little banged up. It's a good thing I'm not collecting these. This would make me very sad. Now that's going to do it for the packaging, so let's take a good look at some other contents the figure comes with, such as his set of instructions here. And this ain't the Studio Series, so we're not going to go through it. Alright, so here's Ironhide in his Cybertronian transport mode. Looks pretty good. It's got some fair amount of paint. At least not much to really address. Not much to complain about either. Battle damage here on his obvious feet. Looking from the back, they do look like they could be like boosters or something. That's pretty cool. You will notice that the wheels are not painted, and they do look a bit cheap. Like, they really feel cheap. That these do not work as good as I was hoping they actually would. As you can see, the figure's wheels do not roll. Now, I've looked all around and I do not see any flashing from the molding itself. That's all been cut away pretty good, so I don't understand what this is actually catching on, but you will notice that they are those pop-on wheels, which means if you put a little force on them, you can push them out. And being that this is Ironhide, he does have the nice gold trimming here. It's just too bad it doesn't go all the way down. At least they did bother to paint what seems to be some windows. The front window is made out of translucent plastic and is painted over in red. Here's a good look at the front of the vehicle with the nice headlights that are actually painted. And it actually looks like Ironhide is packing some heat from the front with these Gatling guns built in. The missile launcher on the top of Ironhide can be removed, and it also has a transforming feature. As you can see, it can turn into a very nice looking hammer. Yeah, just a simple twist and it's back to its rocket launcher mode. It also does sport some nice combat damage here, even though they should have used it for the figure is what I prefer, but hey, it's nice I guess. Alright, there's not much else to say about Ironhide, so let's dare to compare with a Voyager and the Deluxe action figure from this line. That being the case, here we got Voyager Optimus Prime and Deluxe Sideswipe. Moving into transformation, it's pretty simplistic, to tell you the truth. I mean, it kind of reminds me of a Scout figure in all honesty. What I like to do first is go ahead and untab these side panels here. And we'll come from the top and we shall go ahead and split this whole section. And that actually folded in on itself. But yes, that's the next step. Fold this down. Then we're going to come to these side panels and we're going to bring them down all the way and they will tab in from the back. We'll repeat the same process on this side. And there you got the legs. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to untab the front bumper section of the vehicle form. And the entire front section of Ironhide is on the swivel joint, so we're going to rotate it 90 degrees up like that. Come to the top section, which is obviously his arms, and just untab them and swing them down. Rotate them properly. The front bumper of the vehicle is going to push all the way up until it clips into place. Go ahead and open up his chest panel and flip out the very nice G1 head and close this back up. Next, all we need to do is just readjust everything to your liking and put him back so we can actually see the figure in all of his glory. And here we have Siege Ironhide. He looks amazing. You know, being a simplistic transformation, which is actually a breather, this actually does feel good. I gotta be honest, it's a relief. So, let's talk about the figure himself. The figure does sport a very nicely Generation 1 style head for Ironhide. Of course, why wouldn't it? Some nice silver paint for the face and some very nice baby blue for the eyes. He also has an all about symbol down below at his torso. As you can see, we got some nice engineering work here for all the details on the arms and the legs. It looks really good. Here's a good look at the back of the figure, and yes, he does have this cavity section. But I guess if you wanted to, you can store Ironhide's weapon in the back, so that takes care of that, I guess. Let's go into the articulation on Ironhide. He does have a ball joint at the head, though it's kind of restricted because of the sculpting of his head. There's a pin joint here to allow some extra movement at the shoulders. And the shoulders themselves do have the universal joint, so you got a hinge joint for inward and outward movement. You also have a swivel cut to allow a full 360 rotation. Ironhide sports a bicep swivel cut via the mushroom peg there. The figure also has single jointed elbows that does get 9 degrees of bend. And yes, he does have rotation at his wrist. There's a waist swivel cut for the figure. Legs are universally jointed, so you can get this much kicking forward, not much going back. And yes, you can pull off a very nice JCVD split, so there's your seal quality. We do have a mushroom peg for the thigh swivel cut. The knees are single jointed, but you at least get 9 degrees of bend. And you do have a little bit of some wiggle space here at the feet, and that also includes a very beautiful ankle rocker pivot. Here's a good look at Ironhide holding the weapon that he comes with, and the only way he can hold it is to actually have his arm completely straight out like this. But being the fact that this is a transforming weapon, you can turn it into the hammer, and you can slide it into his hands like this. And now you have some free play with the elbow joint. The only thing that this figure can't do is actually hold the weapon with both hands. That would have been nice, but I don't see how that can happen. Wait a minute. It does have an additional peg right here, so maybe if I do this, and then maybe I can get his hand in there. No, it still can't be done. So yeah, try as you might, there's no way to get the figure to hold his hammer with both hands. Size comparisons time, so let's dare to compare with the obvious. Deluxe Sideswipe and Voyager Optimus Prime, and he fits in the middle and looks great in comparison. Another really cool score to the Siege lineup of my Autobot figures. Ironhide is a must-have. The figure overall is quite impressive. The transformation may be a bit bland and very simplistic, but coming from transforming a lot of Studio Series figures back and forth, it gets very exhausting. And it's nice to have a breath of fresh air. If you're looking for a very nice Generation 1 representative version of Ironhide, this is the one to get. Now, unfortunately, the Cybertronian does play out here when it comes to its vehicle form, so it's not going to be his Earth car mode. But if you can overlook that, then this figure is a definite pickup. Minor nitpicks, he could use a little more when it comes to paint application. Like maybe the wheels wouldn't look so cheap if it wasn't for the fact that they weren't painted at all. But I do like the overall aesthetic. I like the detail on the figure, some nice sculpting here, especially with that Generation 1 head design. And quite honestly, I'm blown away by this one. And I look so forward to getting to the other figures out of Wave 2, which I have picked up all of them in one go, so you will see them very shortly. So, questions or comments, you know what to do. Hit it down below in the comment section of the video. If you like today's video review, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Don't forget to throw in the towel. And until then, my friends, this is the unprofessional toy reviewer Hasbro signing off by saying, when the opportunity persists, don't give up on your dreams, seize the moment, and thank you for watching.